This video and every video on this channel is made possible by your support on patreon.com/616entertainment. I couldn't do this without you, and your contributions keep this channel alive. You can also grab an official shirt over on prowrestlingtees.com/616entertainment. 2022 has been very, very kind to gamers, and we've only just now hit the halfway point of this year. January gave us Pokemon Legends Arceus. February came with Dying Light 2, Sifu, Horizon Forbidden West, goddamn Elden Ring. I'm not even gonna dive into April and May. You know why? Because we're already drowning in gigantic, expansive, beautiful titles spanning across multiple genres. Drowning doesn't sound all that great normally, but in this sense, it's a good thing. You know what I mean. I tell you all of that to tell you this. Super Perils of Baking, the newest offering from Lillymo Games, couldn't have come at a better time. If you're anything like me, you just put 80 hours into playing through Elden Ring, nearly 40 hours in Dying Light 2. Super Perils of Baking isn't going to give you 50 to 100 hours of content, not even close. It doesn't come with an open world or a 2,000-page script full of voiceovers, and that's one of its greatest strengths. This remake of their first title is Lillymo's love letter to several of the greatest 2D platformers of yesteryear, and today, I'm going to tell you all about it. What's up, Dan-Dans? My name is Ian. Welcome to my review of Super Perils of Baking. I want to let you know right at the top that a review code for this game was provided to me pre-release by LambSmith PR, which I greatly appreciate. Now, you might hear this developer's name, Lillymo Games, come out of my mouth and think, I feel like I've heard him talk about them before, and that's right, you have. I've reviewed several of their previous releases right here on the channel. Now, you all know I'm not much of a day one review guy. I tend to focus more on the past through deep diving retrospectives, but when there's a game I'm looking forward to that a channel of my size can secure a review code for, I'm in. Now, I don't really have any interest in reviewing everything that hits the PlayStation Network, so you can expect these surprise day one reviews to remain a very rare upload for me, so this is just a little special treat. But enough talk, let's get to it. If you didn't catch it before, I'll repeat it right here at the top. The topic of today's review is a remake. The original Perils of Baking released in 2018, and, it looks like a very small developer's first game. The controls are alright, the graphics are, let's call it like it is. The OG Perils is ugly. Super Perils of Baking, like any remake, looks to improve upon the original in every way imaginable. You tell me, at a glance, if you feel like they've accomplished that task. The visuals are greatly improved, there's no doubt about it, but I won't spend this entire review comparing Super Perils to the original. Let's focus on the here and now. I'm a big fan of the art style, and the quality of these sprites and backgrounds makes it clear just how much Lillymo Games has grown as a developer over the years. Retro-inspired platformers are not exactly uncommon here in 2022, but I'll tell you what, not all of them have pixel art this clean. Wait, shit, I'm talking about graphics and growth, and I haven't even told you what this game's about. Cut the video, let's start over. This video and every video on this channel is made possible by... Nah, I'm kidding, come on. Here's the deal. Two brothers, born and raised with the culinary arts in their blood, both want to be the best baker there ever was. But you know what they say about the best? There can only be one. The first brother, the star of the show here in Super Perils of Baking, takes the high road. He busts his ass and he's blazing and glazing a sugar-sprinkled road to the top. The second brother, he's not so valiant. He's not as courageous, and he tries to take a shortcut. This magical baker's hat doesn't shoot him to the top the second it touches his head. Rather, it corrupts him. His only brother, our star, whisks his life to save his soul from the dark side. Did I say whisks? I meant to say risks, but they're bakers, so it works. Seriously, too, we can throw whisks at enemies. It's tremendous. And let's talk about the whisk throwing. Let's talk about the gameplay at large. We're jumping gaps, we're covering ground from platform to platform, and we're dealing with thousands of enemies across the 50+ levels in front of us. I say 50+ because Like any classic platformer, there are hidden warp zones to secret levels, bonus stages hidden inside literally every level in the game, so on and so forth. The enemy design is fantastic. These flaming marshmallows look like art you'd see on the bottom of a skateboard deck. The flying croissants are wearing berets. Oh. And these cookies, I'm not gonna lie, these guys scared the shit out of me. The other cookies look totally normal, or at least as normal as a walking cookie can look. But these guys, I don't know, man. They're haunting. Throw a whisk at them and they'll walk right through it like Michael Myers. Whisk throwing isn't always an option though. See, there are different states of being here in Super Perils. You know how in Ghosts and Goblins you've got the armor, the underwear, and the skeleton. Here, we've got chef's hat, beard, and babyface. If you've got a beard, that's like a little insurance. You can take a hit before you lose the beard. If you've got the chef's hat, you can throw whisks and slash at enemies if they get too close for comfort. Collecting every cookie and donut and whatever else the hell litters these environments is very important, as that's how we earn our way up to beard and hat. It sounds funny when I word it like that, but I mean, it's a funny game. These 50 levels are split into platforming stages, minecart stages, underwater stages, and balloon stages. So you can expect a good deal of variety across the 6 hours or so it'll take you to complete the story mode. I've been extremely positive up to this point, so here's where we turn the tables a little and talk about the areas where Super Perils of Baking doesn't exactly earn the title of Certified Master Baker. First and foremost, I put over the art style earlier. I applauded the pixel art, and with good reason. These backgrounds are extremely detailed, they're gorgeous. The issue is this. We've got 50 levels here, and we don't exactly have 50 backgrounds. I might be getting a little generous here in saying that there might be 12 to 15 unique backgrounds. There's a ton of repetition going on across the journey through the story mode. Super Perils of Baking is easy to pick up and put down. You don't have to sit down and spend an hour straight with the game, but if you do, you're gonna notice the repetition. The underwater levels are pretty, but at least to my naked eye, they all look exactly the same. Excuse the audio quality here, but this is a very late addition in the middle of the editing process. I noticed that the labels of Brother 1 and Brother 2 in the intro cutscene are super confusing. Beard Brother is wearing a first place ribbon. He's standing first in line. This had me believing that he was Brother 1, but seconds later, he's called Brother 2. And the beardless brother is labeled as Brother 1 when he puts on the evil hat for the first time. So, Brother 2 was wearing the number 1 ribbon. Brother 2 is the star of the game. They're deliberately not given names. This, to me, was a needlessly confusing decision. Okay, now, back to what I actually had written before this dawned on me. Towards the end, there are levels where the enemies aren't the issue, the screen is. There isn't a problem with the camera or anything, it's a design choice. I realize that games like Castlevania 3 used this screen crawling mechanic back in the day, and Castlevania 3 is fucking awesome, but having to compete with the screen sucks. It always sucks. It's the worst part of Castlevania 3. Don't tell me this killed me. My head didn't even touch the ceiling. Leaving enough space to make me think I can fit there, and then you kill me without my head even making contact with the ceiling is bullshit. My head physically touches the ceiling on the next platform, and I live. So what the fuck is the excuse here? This next gripe might be a little unfair, but it's my review. Lillymo's last game, Habroxia 2, outsourced a soundtrack from Hang On Get Ready. It was far and away the best music featured in a Lillymo Games title, and here in Super Perils of Baking, the music has reverted to an in-house production once again. And it shows. I'm not saying the music is bad, it's not a glaring, oh this is horrible, or anything even close to that, but it's a noticeable step back if you're a returning fan of their work. But let's switch gears, touch on a few cool deals, and then we'll get the hell out of here. What do you think? I'd be out of my ass if I didn't show some love to the recipe book. See, the first time you take out an enemy, you earn their recipe for your book. Each and every enemy comes complete with a full write-up on how they were prepared, which is incredibly charming. This reminds me of an NES instruction manual where there would be awesome drawings of the bad guys with a little blurb on their background. An ode to the classics, for sure. I'm also a fan of the hidden TVs spread across the game, which serve as callbacks to the developer's previous works. References and crossovers with other Lillymo titles run deeper than just the hidden TVs, but I'll let you figure out that little secret for yourself. The trophy list ensures that if you're going after the platinum, you're going to see everything Super Perils has to offer, which is always the preferred way to go. And one more, I adore the boss fight stages, which look like a cathedral pulled straight out of Castlevania. The sacred symbols are etched into the ornate architecture, come on now. Level 44 features disappearing platforms straight out of Mega Man 2. I'm telling you, the tributes to the past are abundant. Super Perils of Baking, when it's all said and done, is a fine example of a small developer's growth over what is really a short period of time. With more than 50 levels that'll take you around 6 hours to finish, with a price tag of just $9.99, the value speaks for itself. As I stated at the top, this isn't a 100-hour adventure. This isn't going to take you the whole year to complete. But if you're like me and you've just finished playing through the Dying Light 2s and the Elden Rings of this year's first half, you might be ready for a nice little in-between, a visually appealing and charmingly engaging 2D platformer that'll fit perfectly into a single summer weekend. With Super Perils of Baking, Lillymo Games continue to carve out their indie niche in a landscape overflowing with AAA titans. So there you have it, Dan-Dans. That's my review of Super Perils of Baking. $10, PlayStation, Switch, Xbox. Check it out and have some fun, or don't. I don't care what you do, you can keep playing Elden Ring. I just wanted to share my thoughts with you, and thanks for giving me a platform to do so here today. 6/16/2022 is right around the corner, and holy hell is it going to be big business. Don't miss the premiere of the History of God of War Part 1, Birth of the Ghost. Until next time, Dan-Dans, I love ya, and I'll see you soon. The History of God of War Part 1. What the fuck is it called? I don't know what it's called.